to PezKnits. My name is Presley, and this is my monthly knitting, crocheting update roundup that I do at the end of each month. I'm a bit late this month, so I apologize for that, but here we are. I hope you've all been well and that you've had a good month. I've had a bit of an eventful one in terms of my crafting sort of time. Anyway, I'm gonna get right into it and start talking about my latest finished object, which you may have noticed around my neck. This is my utility shawl by Jonathan Days, and these are one of the items that I had submitted as a part of the Penrith Show knitting and needlework competition. If you haven't heard about that, I did a video about it previously, so go and check that out after this video, but I'll give you the whole lowdown on this project here. So this was knitted as a part of a test knit for the utility shawl pattern, and I knitted it in a DK possum and merino yarn called Perino from memory, and it's in this gorgeous, like, beautiful avocado kind of wasabi green. I'm so happy with how it turned out. If you have been to my channel before, this is one of the items which I was not sure if I was going to get it done or not in time for the competition. Luckily, I did finish it in time. It didn't place, but it was still really great seeing it on display at the show. And it is so warm. Unfortunately, in Sydney, we're very quickly and rapidly moving into summer. So this is probably the only time I'm going to be able to wear it right now. In 2024, but I have really been enjoying it. It's a bit hard to wear because I don't have like a, what do they call, like a shawl cuff? A lot of the people who made it, they have like a little cuff that they put here and it looks like this, but I don't have anything, so it's just like hangs around my neck. But it's really good for when you're like around, like indoors, and you're just like at your computer. I work from home a lot, so I feel like this would be a really good item to have next to my desk whenever I'm feeling like a little bit chilly. But yeah, super happy with how this turned out. I have this on my Ravelry projects. On my Ravelry is Pez99. I'll put it down below if you want to check out for more details. I followed the pattern pretty closely, besides the fact that I had started with a size small, but if I had knitted up to where it told me to knit, I would have like a really awkward amount of yarn left over. So I kind of knitted a little bit more than that, and so it's like we'll call it a medium. It's technically a medium, but yeah, super happy with it. All right, finished object number 2. I actually do not have with me right now because it won me a blue ribbon at the Penrith Show, and I've now submitted it into the next round of the competition. I'm not sure if it's like statewide, I don't know if it's like citywide, I don't even know what the next level is, but they had asked me if I wanted to do that, and I was like, yeah, sure, like why not? Because like we're moving into summer, I'm not gonna be able to wear it. So what I had knit, hopefully I have a picture here. I don't even think I have a picture of it like properly like on after I finished it, but it is the Sugar Bush sweater by Amelie Marie Designs, and it's a beautiful colorwork yoke sweater. It turned out exactly how I wanted it. The reason why I don't have any photos of it is because as soon as I like got it off the needles, blocked it, I sent it off to the show. So I didn't even get to try it on or anything, like, or take photos. That's away right now, but that is also a finished object. Hopefully I'll get it back. I was a bit scared of submitting it again to the next level. I'm like, what if I never see this again? But I have faith. I have faith in the people who do these competitions, because I'm sure they know how special these objects are, and so I'm pretty sure I'll get it back. But when I do, you'll probably see me wear it because I really want to wear it on this channel because it's so beautiful. It's probably one of the best sweaters I've ever knit thus far in my knitting career, and I don't even have it to show you, so I'm so sorry, but technically that is also a finished object that I had completed. Okay, so now in terms of whips, it is so funny. It's like as soon, like in Australia, I don't know if it's the same as other places, but like in Australia, as soon as like the next season has come, it's like boom, here. There's like no sort of transitional state that happens. Like one day it was freezing cold winter, and then the next day, first day of spring, it's like beautiful, hot, sunny. And as soon as that happens, I just like immediately put my knitting down and pick up my crochet. You know, like, I don't know. I'm like knitting winter, crochet summer. That's like kind of, ever since I learned how to crochet, that is how like I've been doing it. And, you know, I'm now showing you a crochet whip. That's where I'm getting to. So I've had this on the hook. I've had this on the hook for a while now. I had started it last year and then I had put it down once we went into winter, and now I've picked it back up. This is the, I've forgotten the pattern name. I'm so sorry. I've probably said it a million times. Oh, Ziggy Interrupted. There we go. This is the Ziggy Interrupted shawl. It looks stunning on camera right now. Wow. Yeah, so this is my Ziggy Interrupted shawl. It's crochet. This is my first crochet shawl. I still have a couple of sections to go, but I'm pretty close. So the way that it's constructed is that you have these granny square panels that you make first. You make each individual square first, and then you would sew them together. And then once you have all the panels, there's 5 in total. I've sewn, how many have I sewn so far? 3. There's 5 in total, and then once you've sewn them all together, you get started with the zigzag panels, which you crochet like together. I'm super happy with how this is turning out. It's quite funny, like, backstory on this yarn and the colors I originally bought for the Stephen West shawl 2023, and I kind of chickened out on it. I started doing it, didn't really like how it was turning out, and then I frogged it, and then I started this like a year later, maybe a year and a half later. Beautiful colors. Let me zoom in so you can see, because the white one is actually like a speckle. I don't know if you can tell, but it's speckled with green, like green, orange, and blue, which works perfectly with this because like that's the main colors. It's quite subtle, but I feel like in real life it looks a little bit more obvious. And so the purple, green, white, and blue are from Giacomo Designs, and then the orange is from the Australian wool store, and it's just like one skein of each color. I'm thinking of actually adding more sections to this than what the pattern asks for. I'm like, if it's too long, I just wrap it around my neck more. Like, can a scarf be too long? I don't know, but yeah. So I have so from here I've reached like a new granny square segment, so I'm gonna need to sew that on, which I haven't done yet because I was like, I took this as a travel project, and then I got up to the sewing part and I was like, well, I can't really do this like on the road, so I'll just leave it. And then after that it's another zigzag, and then the final granny square like panel. But I think I actually might do a whole other two segments of this, because I don't know, it's looking a bit like, in my mind this would be like half a scarf, and then I would do a whole nother half. I don't know, but when I put it on, like, see what I mean? I feel like it's almost there, but it's like not quite. So we'll see how we go. But I have oh my God. We'll see how we go. But I have a feeling that I'm probably going to make it longer than what the parent asked for. Also, okay, so funny story, modifications, if you even want to call it that. It's a very like gracious way of saying what I'm about to say. I realized that with every one of these zigzags, I actually missed a row. So every one of these zigzags is meant to be like probably like maybe a half a centimeter longer, because I'm missing a row. And maybe that's why it's like shorter than expected. And it doesn't sound like a lot until you realize how many zigzags I've done. And it's like, if you put all that length that I missed out together, it'd probably be like a whole nother zigzag in itself. Or even more, like 2 zigzags. So that was silly. I only just realized that the other day. I'm like, Presley, how about you read patterns like properly? Like, that's what they're there for. You're meant to read them. Like, no, I wasn't doing that at all. I was just like going about my own business. So totally, that's like on me. That's not the pattern. Beautiful pattern, really written in a really great way. It's got diagrams. I was super intimidated at first because I'm like a beginner crocheter when I first saw this, but did it as like a challenge. But I wouldn't say it's a challenge. It's actually quite simple. It's like deceptively like simple. If you know granny squares and you know the basic like double crochet, you know, you'll be able to do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So I really recommend this pattern because it looks beautiful. I'm so excited for that. Next whip. Okay, so this is gonna look crazy because you haven't seen this at all. So a while ago, not a long time ago, but a while ago, I had purchased some yarn that was like an acrylic kind of mix, acrylic and merino mix, something I don't usually knit with in terms of like clothing. And so from that, I have been working on this sweater. Let me get it out. It's looking crazy, but here we are. This is the hype stripe or the stripe hype sweater. I'm not sure who it's by, so I'll put it down at the bottom. It's looking beautiful. The last time I spoke about this, I wasn't sure about the color combinations that were going on here, but now that I'm seeing it all together, it looks stunning. I had initially changed the order that I was going to do it in to what it is now. It's actually looking really great. So this is knitted in, I don't even have a knitting, I can't remember what it's called. No, okay. So the yarn is from Knit Picks. I'll put the details in the description if you want to find out more. It's really great yarn. It's advertised as worsted. I'm not sure if it is, to be honest. It seems more like a DK to me. I could be totally wrong. And it's really lovely. It's super soft, which is exactly what I was wanting. That's why I was looking for an acrylic sort of like a yarn, because I feel like it's typically more softer than like wool, like 100% wool. At least the wool that I've bought. Maybe the more expensive stuff is softer, but like the wool that I've bought in the past is more like traditional, super like, not super rough, but like it has a roughness to it, and this is like not like that at all. It's super soft. I had to get used to knitting with it for a little bit because it's quite slippery, and I think it's because it's so soft, and also it's because of the acrylic. But I got used to it really quickly. Like it took some adjusting in like the first 2 rows, and then after that it was fine. And I have 7 colors here, which is crazy. And right now I just finished the first sleeve. I still have it on the needles because I need to cast it off, and I'm gonna do the second sleeve, and I've also done like the bottom band. The most stressful thing about this, in the pattern originally, the color scheme is with one main color. I don't even know how to explain this. I'll put a picture here so I can explain it with the picture. It'll make more sense. So it has one main color which appears in all of the segments, and then like each segment has a different contrasting color, which is different to how I've gone about this one, where it's like I'm just striping it with 7 different colors, like for all of the areas. And so it's like harder for me to follow the pattern because the way that the colors are like configured in the pattern is like easier than this. Hopefully I'm making sense. And what I mean by that is like, what color am I gonna make the collar? What color am I gonna make the sleeve, that sort of thing. And so what I decided is that I was not going to make the collar, the cuffs, and the ribbing at the bottom the same color. I was just going to keep following the color order I've been doing, which is why the bottom of it is like this golden, like brown color, while this ribbing on here is like a different tan kind of color, because I'm just following like what was the next color before like the end of the sleeve sort of situation, which I think it's more fun. Like it's not very typical to see, because usually a sweater would have ribbing all the same color, but this is gonna be different. So I like convinced myself into doing it because I'm like, you know, it's handmade. You know, I don't want a sweater that looks like I got it from the shop. It's gonna be different, you know. And I think like the color scheme really works with each other anyway. So it's gonna look good. And for the collar, I'm going to do this electric blue. So there's probably this electric blue, and then like the outer edge is gonna be something different, like how I've done this sleeve. It's like a dark brown on the edge. I think I'm gonna do, I still haven't decided, to be honest, but it will probably just be like a contrasting color to this electric blue. It looks super pretty. I like knitted this up so quickly. It's not even funny, but now it's slowed down because it's hot, and like knitting with this yarn is like makes my hands sweaty really quickly. So actually I haven't worked on it in a while, but what I usually do is that in the mornings when it's cooler, I'll work on this. In the afternoons when it's warmer, I'll work on the crochet, and then once the sun has gone down, I'll get this back out. Which sounds crazy. I'm like on a schedule for my projects, but that's just, I find that makes me stay on track with everything, is that if I have like this schedule in my brain to pick certain things up at certain times, it will make me make more progress. But yeah, super cute. I love the pattern and I love how it's looking. I really want to knit another one with like the actual color scheme that it asks for, because I didn't buy this yarn for this particular project, so I didn't have a main color quantity. But I'm thinking maybe with that pattern, it goes up to a 4XL. And so I'm thinking maybe I'll make one for my fiance and make that, use the correct color configuration that the pattern calls for. We'll see. Because it's knitting up so quickly. Like, I went from that color work yoke sweater I was talking about before that got the blue ribbon. That was a 4-ply. I knit that in 4-ply in fingering yarn. And I'm knitting this with like a DK worsted weight yarn. It knits up so much quicker. It's like insane. So I'm really enjoying it, and I'm like planning the next one, to be honest. We're still going on whips. Can you believe it? Jeez. All right. This one I only started yesterday. I'm so bad. I know, you don't need to tell me. So I have a family friend, who is having a baby. And so I couldn't help myself. I just need to make baby clothes whenever someone's having a baby. And so I started knitting a little cardigan. Let me show it to you. I'm trying to get it in a sort of nice position. So this is the neckline. This is like the sleeves. And I'm actually just about to like break to segment off for the body and the sleeves, if that makes sense. And what this is Heirloom's Dazzle Star. And I love yarn like this. I always see it where it's like pre-patterned, so that when you're knitting it, it just like naturally stripes and makes different patterns. And I was like, this is a good opportunity to like, you know, experiment and try like this yarn. It's quite funny, like you'll see like on the thing it shows like love hearts and like clovers or something, and mine, it's like, that's not what mine is looking like. But to be fair, like, I should have watched a video on how to knit with these kind of yarns, because I've never knit with, like, I started in the middle. You know, I pulled the inner end. I'm not sure if that's what you meant to do. Maybe you meant to go outside in. I don't know. But I still like how it's looking. Like, it's still striping. And we don't know the gender of the baby, so I attempted to, like, get a unisex color. I don't know if this is super unisex. In my mind, it is. It's green. And it's also funny because it has, like, the traditional pink and blue and in green. Hopefully they like it. I'm knitting, so I haven't said the pattern name yet. It has escaped me. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I'll put it on the bottom. And I'm knitting for the 12-month size because, again, it's way too hot to wear a cardigan. So I want this to be able to fit the baby, like, 7-8 months from now when it's actually winter. So that's why I'm knitting it in a bigger size. Lovely. And I actually bought this from a local yarn store that I actually never go to. I don't know why. I think it's because it's more sewing focused. And I have some footage for you if you're interested that I'm gonna play of me just walking around in there so you can see what my local yarn store looks like. So enjoy. That my fiance was the cameraman. He's always so great with helping me with things like that, so thank you. So that is the end of whips, and now I can talk to you about Stashquisitions. Okay, so I bought yarn for the Stephen West shawl that is coming up this year in October. So look, I low-key got talked into it. But it's like, I was thinking about doing it anyway, and then someone gave me that final push, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And initially, I thought that I had the half of the yarn quantity required. So this year, it's a 2-colored, like, shawl. I thought I had 200 grams, like 2 skeins of a color in my stash. And then I was mistaken. And I'd already, like, opted into the pattern. So I was like, oh, crap. Like, I'm going to have to buy new yarn. Oh no, I'm gonna have to buy new yarn. And so I went to Morris & Sons in Sydney, and I was able to find my colors there. But I'll show you a little bit of footage of the store because it's absolutely beautiful. The staff there are really lovely. I had a whole conversation with the people there about the Stephen West shawl. So I'll roll that tape, and then I'll show you what colors I ended up choosing. You enjoyed that. It's always great visiting that store. It's really beautiful, and they have a huge yarn selection there, which is always great. Now, the yarn that I ended up choosing, so in the past, I've only ever knitted one Stephen West MCAL shawl. I have another Stephen West shawl that I've knitted, but it wasn't a part of an MCAL. And for those who don't know, an MCAL is mystery knit along. And so what it is that you're knitting something and you don't know what the end result is going to look like. And so the mistake I made in my first MCAL is that I chose like these crazy, super colorful colors. And so it turned out beautiful, don't get me wrong, but it didn't turn out very wearable. It kind of looked like a circus blanket. It looked like a circus tent, to be honest, in the end. So this time around, I wanted to be like, really mindful and being like, what colors would I actually wear on a day-to-day basis? Because like, what's the point of making something super beautiful if you're not going to wear it? Anyway, I'll show you the colors. Let me just get them in a nice configuration for you guys. So these are the colors that I chose. Super beautiful, super pretty. I actually have such a soft spot for purple. I didn't know that about myself until I started knitting. Like, I really am attracted to the color purple. I don't wear purple that often, but I like purple. But I think, okay, so let me start. So this is silk, which is quite interesting. So this is a silk, and it is from Regia Premium. And this is in, does it have a colorway? I don't think so. But I would describe it as like a beautiful, like aubergine. It almost looks a bit heathered on top of that. Maybe that's the silk playing into it, but like an aubergine, eggplant, purple. And the silk, I'm not sure if you can see, but the silk really adds a sheen to it, which I think is going to be really pretty in the shawl, because my second color isn't silk, it's cashmere. Oh, we splurged on this, to be honest. Anyway, like, I'm going to commit to this shawl, but this is this is a beautiful, kind of like a steel gray. And looking at it, it doesn't look that purple until you put it with this. And somehow, like, there's like purple undertones in this that really pop when you put it next to like this purple. And going in there, I knew I wanted gray. I was like, gray is such like a wearable color, like very, what's the word? Like a basic color that goes with everything. But this is like a really interesting gray because of like the purple undertones. I think it's, yeah, I would describe it as a steel gray. I'm super happy with it. Super happy with the choice. The ladies were like, oh my God, that's such a nice color combination. I'm like, thank you. And my sister was there also to help me. So shout out to her. It wasn't just me. My sister also helped me pick out these colors. So it was a team effort. So I'm really looking forward to starting that Stephen West MCAL. I'm hoping I can document it through my YouTube channel while it's happening. But I'm not one of the, it's so interesting. If you've never done one of like Stephen West MCALs before, or any MCAL in general, it's so interesting to see like the different kinds of people who do it. You're either the person that's like finishing every single clue, like every single portion of the pattern on time for the next one, or you're like me and just like multiple like clues of the pattern are coming out and you're still on like clue one. I'm like I wouldn't say I'm slow, but I'm definitely not to the speed that would allow me to finish each section before the next song comes out, which is insane. But I would love to like document my progress of the shawl while it's happening. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm really happy with my purchase and I think it's going to turn out beautiful. So yes, I think that's all I have for you this month. Hopefully that was entertaining. I'm really looking forward to keeping on with my projects, even though it's going to be sweltering hot for the next couple of weeks. But not even weeks, months. It's going to be sweltering hot for the next couple of months. But I'm going to keep on crafting, and hopefully I'll be able to show you a lot of finished objects in the next month. I hope you're well. Enjoy the next coming month, and I'll see you next time. Bye.